Welcome to the Journey of a Man podcast with your host, Dre Jordan. This podcast was created for men to talk about our journey in life, which ultimately determines who we are or will become. The obstacles we face are real and often will derail us from our desired destinations. This podcast gives us a platform to express ourselves about the journey we have experienced, our upbringing, relationship, marriages, fatherhood, careers, finances, loss of loved one, spirituality, divorce, and co parenting. Hopefully, bridging our support for one another while respecting and uplifting other men and women. The trajectory for men must change, and together we can create a pathway to success. My next guest, Jack Adams, known as Captain Jack, was born and raised in the Washington, D.C. area on June 8, 1965, at Freeman's Hospital to the late Charlsey Mae and James Adams, and the youngest of six siblings. Jack has lived in Washington, D.C. his entire life and has been a resident in all four sections: Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, and Southwest. He was educated in the public school system, attended Bruce, Amadon, and King elementary schools, Jefferson and Ribault junior high schools, and graduated from the school on the hill, McKinley Tech Senior High School, in 1983. Jack excelled in swimming and football while attending McKinley Tech and football at the University of District of Columbia. In 1985, Jack began his career with the District of Columbia Fire and EMS Department after his rigorous training at the academy. In 8 years with the DC Fire Department, he was promoted to fire inspector. His career excelled through the ranks as sergeant, lieutenant, and captain before retiring in March of 2022. Jack has had trajectories in life that determine who he is today. He has two beautiful daughters, Kiara and Gabrielle, who are college graduates that he loves with all his heart. Jack, in his retirement, is relaxing and pondering his next life decision. He enjoys his leisure time exercising, riding his bike, and traveling in his RV near a beach somewhere, reaping the benefits of nice cuisine.
Hey there, Andre Jordan. Congratulations on your podcast being so successful. We've all enjoyed it. I'm especially excited this week because you're featuring one of our classmates, none other than Jack Adams. Mighty class of McKinley, 1983. Jack has been a stand-up guy all the 42 years I've known him, watching him lead in high school, being a football player and also being a swimmer. We are proud that he raised two college-educated daughters. He's accomplished a great deal, and last month was exceptional because he retired after 27 plus years from the fire department as a firefighter, and he was a high-ranking member as he retired. He's fun-loving and kind. He practices his faith by walking out love. We are so proud of him and so happy to have been blessed with him. Jack Adams, we salute you.
Hey everybody, Taff, what's up? Today I'm going to talk about a real close friend of mine's. Actually, the person that's doing the tribute to him is André Jordan. That guy right there is a friend of mine I grew up with in my neighborhood of Brentwood, and thanks, Dre, for doing what you're doing today. But this dude that you're about to talk about, or about to have a discussion about his life, Jack Adams. That's my brother from another mother. We decided to become more than just, just classmates. That's when I tell you he's my brother. He can't do no wrong, or we always talk to each other. We always give each other encouraging words, and sometimes we don't talk in about 3 or 4 months, but when we do talk, we pick right back up like we never missed a beat or whatever. That's my guy, and I just want to say, man, thank you for being the person that you are, and for also being my friend. I love you, Slim. I'm proud of you too. To take that high road of becoming a firefighter, man. I remember you trying to get me to come in and go with you, and I said, "Nah, brother, that ain't for me. That's you." And you was like, "Come on, man, let's do it." Nah, man. You go be Superman, save people's lives. I just watch and say, "Oh yeah, did you just see Super? I just saw Superman go in the building, and he just saved a lot of people." So anyway, ghetto to ghetto, my friend, city to city. You and I've been into some stuff. We've been through some things thick and thin. I just want to say, one love, man. Love you. Keep it moving. I'm out. Peace.
Hi, Jack. Happy retirement. Happy. You've come to this chapter in your life called retirement after 27 years of service. And I'd like to say thank you for your bravery and your service to our great city, Washington, D.C. When I think about you, I think about bravery. B is for bold and blessed. R is for ready at all times to protect our city. A is because you've accomplished becoming Captain Jack Adams. V is because you're valuable to our community. E, because you're eager to train, help, and assist at all times. R, because you're a risk taker going in and out of the fires. Y is because you're always on time. Jack Adams, I love you so very much. Congratulations and happy retirement.
Hey, Jack, I know we've talked, man, since retirement or whatever, but I wanted to take this opportunity out to say, hey, man, I'm proud of you. I've always been proud of you. You was an awesome teammate. You're still an awesome teammate. But I wanted to tell you that congratulations on your retirement, man. You deserve it. If nobody else does, you deserve it. And please do me a big favor. Take time out for you, relax, and let's have a drink. Congrats, brother.
Hey Jack, it's your cousin here on this podcast wishing you all the best on your next journey in life. Seeing how there's roughly a decade difference in age between us, that has not prevented us from forming a close family bond. Me and the family want to congratulate you on a remarkable career spanning almost 3 decades on the District of Columbia Fire Department, each year risking your safety for the community at large. I also want to thank you for forging a close relationship with my parents, particularly my dad, your Uncle Albert. As you know, Uncle Albert believed in treating all of his nieces and nephews like they were his own children. I know he was very fond of you, along with your sister, and he talked about you often. At the start of your career 27 years ago, I know you cherished with affection the fact that he took time out of his schedule to come to your graduation ceremony from the Fire Department Training Academy and celebrate your commitment to community service, albeit a dangerous line of work. Also, your comments at Uncle Albert's funeral warmed my heart, and I'll always remember them. You said he was an inspiration to you and a motivational force to your success, particularly setting the bar for our entire family on home ownership. He being the first in the family to own his own home located in Landover, Maryland. You mentioned how welcoming our home was to your mother, Charlsey, to you and your sister, Dawn. And I remember all the good times we had at our backyard cookouts. André, just to let you and your audience know, we recently gathered as a first cousins reunion to celebrate the time and the place we've all arrived at in this point in our lives. The First Cousins Brigade consists of course, me, then Jack, Don, Donna, Gail, Stacy, and Daryl. The brigade is not very large, but we are formidable. But I have to admit, Jack's career journey was riskier than the rest of us, and he is retired in sound body and mind. Jack, your experience is truly heartfelt, responding to life or death disasters, then convincing and commanding young men to do the same, following in your footsteps. Wow. I hope the people whose lives you've touched through the years appreciate how great a human being you are. Maybe a not so little known secret I was always envious of in admiration. Jack is a great swimmer, a dolphin in the water. Maybe that is why, as a profession, he chose to be in the fire. I'll have to talk to him about that. Jack, through it all, you've maintained a level head, kept your composure, stayed true to yourself, raised two beautiful and talented daughters. You've given thanks to and praised the Lord, and in between, all the while, smiling and still having some fun. All the best from the First Cousins Brigade.
Wow, bro. It's amazing, man.
Wow.
Heartwarming to hear people talk about you, you know, give you your props while you're above ground. First of all, I want to thank you, brother,
Thank
for
you, sir.
joining me today, man, on the journey of a man. You know, our journey really does dictate who we are or will become through our different trajectories in life, albeit, you know, whether we go to prison, whether we get in trouble, you know, marital issues, all the things that I listed on the introduction, man, it's amazing. But to see my brothers come out on top, and what I mean by that, right? Spiritually grounded, love to have fun, and enjoying retirement. How about that? Right?
Wow.
Congratulations, man, on your retirement after 27 years. You and I chopped it up a little bit before you know, we got on. And, you know, this week sometime we chopped it up a little bit. And you asked me a very important question. Andre, what are you trying to do with your platform? And I'm trying to get to our men, our young men, our boys, just to let them know that it's possible, regardless of whatever obstacle you run into, it's possible to succeed, especially if we got the, as Melvin Ward say, as we got a big boy in charge, God, good, right? He our
Absolutely.
protection, that's for sure. But I want to thank you again, man, for joining me because I know you got a hell of a story. First of all, to be a firefighter and an EMS, let me just say this. I know the traumas you have seen, gone through, and to be able to come out unscathed, right? The way that you have. And what I mean by that, still got all your limbs, right? You still can see, you
Thank
still
God.
breathing, right? That's what I mean by that. So if you don't mind, brother, take me through your life, right? In your trajectories. I know you had a little scare at one point in time as well, but take me through your life, man. You know, growing up in the district, we all know what we went through, right? Especially through that drug boom and all that the obstacles we had to face going through that as well. But if you don't mind, brother, take me through your life, man, and tell me about Jack Adams before he became Jack, Captain Jack.
Wow, Dre. Um, First of all, I just want to thank you for this opportunity to come onto your platform and speak. You to do this is an honor for me, and I really appreciate it. Uh, Secondly, I'd like to reach out and thank uh, Cousin Greg, Gloria, Taff, Pat, Paul, for taking time out of their schedules to say such amazing things about me. Um, I'll be forever grateful for that. And to hear them say those things about me, man, um, I'm a really emotional guy sometimes.
Hmm.
And so, I'm sitting here trying to fight back the tears already,
Hmm.
and we ain't even got started yet. So, again, I just want to thank everybody who took the time to say those wonderful things. Um,
Let me just say this before you get started, Jack. Let
okay.
me. You're a brother I've known for a very long time. You've always had a good heart. You was always a genuine dude. Never heard anything bad about you. I mean, you know, through life, man, you talking about 40 years. Through life, man, you always will hear something. You know, oh yeah, never heard anything bad about Jack. Always was a good, solid dude. We always had fun when we were together. We were brothers, still are, but we were brothers, man. And I can appreciate you, brother, one of the reasons I have you on this platform, Jack, is because you are a genuine person and you give back to the community, right? In so many different ways. People don't even realize this is why I have you on this platform, because I want to be able to recognize you, bruh, right? And also to help our young brothers, help sow into them, because I see them nowadays, Jack, and you see it too. They walking around with their pants around by their knees now. And I'm saying, do they actually know where that come from?
No, they don't.
I've had so many people come on and say, man, they just don't have a clue. They trying to follow a trend that does not look good at all. And the way they treat these young girls and women nowadays, not all of them. We have some good brothers out here, but my platform is to try to help the ones who are lost, right? The ones who are going wayward, just to let them know, man, you can reach out, talk to somebody, you know.
Absolutely.
Somebody helped us through it, you know. But I just
Absolutely.
want to say that about you, brother, because you always been a good dude, man, and I love you dearly. That's why I got you on the platform, because you're a good dude, man, and I just want to give you your flowers, while you're here. So thank you, bro. I ain't meaning. I know you was going to get started, but I had to say my little piece.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. Coming from you, again, it's an honor. Um, as I think back over my life and going back to my early years, um, I look back to the beginning, as far as back as I can remember. And, that's usually around about the age of 8 years old, 5 years old, somewhere around in there.
Mm,
And my mother had a small apartment on Kenyon Street,
mhm,
Northwest, Georgia Avenue in Kenyon. As a matter of fact, in the 700 block. I went to Bruce Elementary School, which is right down at the bottom of the hill at Kenyon and Sherman. I think it's some type of charter school now or whatever, but those years were very, very good, man. It was all about just hanging out. You had one or two best friends, right, at that time. And it was like a little fantasy during that time, because it was, Christmas was always good, and you always, put your little cookies under the tree and all that kind of stuff, and then Santa would come and do his thing.
yeah,
My mother was a single parent.
mm,
Um, my dad was married,
mhm,
and he had a family of his own.
mhm,
And so my mother raised me and my sister, Dawn, by herself.
mhm,
It was a struggle for her, but she was able to play that role of both mother and father amazingly.
mhm,
Um, Deeply spiritual woman,
mhm,
Sunday school teacher, and always made sure that something about God or Jesus was coming out her mouth towards me.
mhm,
So from a very early age, I was exposed to the Lord and baptized at a very early age, and just tried to carry that with me the rest of my life, and instill that in people around me and my kids.
mhm,
That tenure on the Northwest side continued up until about 7 or maybe 8 years old. And we left from that location and we moved over to Northeast Washington. And I have all my sections of the city families. I got my Northeast family, I got my Southeast family, I got my Southwest family. And then, of course, I got my Northwest family. So ended up over near Hawaii Avenue,
mhm,
North Capitol Street, going to Keene Elementary at that point,
mhm.
where I met all my good friends at Keene Elementary. And I'm sure some of them are listening now, and all my Keene crew, Tappy and Tim and everybody else. I just want to say hello to y'all and thank y'all for the love that y'all have shown me over the years.
Mhm.
Um, That probably lasted for about maybe about 4 more years. But my mother struggled,
Mm-hmm.
and she wasn't a small woman. She was a pretty hefty lady,
Mm-hmm.
and so she decided that she wanted to try to lose weight
Mm-hmm.
at some point. So I don't know if you remember, man, back in those days, there were these diet pills
Mm-hmm.
that people were taking. They were also known on a street market as Black beauties,
Mm-hmm.
okay, back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think a lot of people realize the toxic effects of those pills back in the day, but they had a toxic effect on my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And so she got to a state where she couldn't work. And so because she couldn't work, that means that wasn't no money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And when there ain't no money coming in, you can't pay the rent.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result of that, um, we ended up being evicted and going out on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that was a pretty challenging time for me because I didn't know quite what was going on. I didn't know why that was the situation. But I found myself homeless as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people look at you, man, and they say, "Wow, man, not you. No way. You was homeless before?"
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
I was homeless before.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a lot about God during that time. There were times where I was able to be with her during that homelessness, and then there were times where I couldn't be with
Mm-hmm.
her. During that time, I'm sure all the native Washingtonians remember the Greyhound bus station
Mm-hmm.
on New York Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's where we ended up. That was home. And she decided, okay, well, I'm going to send you to live with your aunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she sent me to live with one of my aunts. But back during that time, people didn't have a whole lot of food and stuff like that. So it got to the point where, my aunt would complain about the Kool-Aid being drank or the bologna getting ate or something like that. And so I said, you know what? I ain't dealing with this, you know. Uh, First of all, I'm leaving because I'm not going to sit here and deal with this. And then second, I'm going back to find my mother,
Mm-hmm.
wherever she is.
Mm-hmm.
But that departure led me to Fort Totten Drive, Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if a lot of us will remember the woods on Fort Totten Drive that were across the street from the apartments that we lived in. So that became home for me.
Mm-hmm.
The woods on Fort Totten Drive became home for me.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't understand or realize that I went to school to Keene Elementary from the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did my best. I stayed clean, whatever the case may be. But I went to school from the woods, Dre.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to become a man at a very early age.
Mm-hmm. Survival.
Survival, right? I had to learn how to read people, who was good for me and who wasn't good for me, who was a threat and who wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned about people as a kid, not as a teenager, not as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So ironically, one day I said to myself, I'm sick of sleeping in these woods. I'm tired of sleeping in this. And you're not going to believe this, but I set the woods on fire.
Mm-hmm. Because you didn't want to go back.
I didn't want to go back. I was angry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't want to go back. So I set the woods on fire and I walked away. And then I heard a fire truck for the first time in my life that I can remember. And that sound did something to me.
Mm.
And when those firefighters got off those trucks and I watched it looked like an orchestra to me. I couldn't even understand what they were doing. Everybody was doing something, but it just looked so amazing to me. And I said, wow, look at that. And then ironically, how does a young arsonist become a firefighter?
Mm.
How does that happen? How do you go from an arsonist to becoming a firefighter? So with that being said, I want to let everybody know, and every young man out there know, and every young lady out there, that no matter where you come from or what you've done, you can change for the better. No matter what mistakes you made, you can change for the better. And your past is not necessarily who you are, your future, but you can't forget about it. And you got to be able to learn the lesson from it so that you can teach somebody else.
Yep.
I can make the same mistake
Absolutely.
that you made.
Absolutely.
So that is a rags to riches story that I just wanted to share with you.
Man, amazing story.
A lot of people don't realize, because they look at you now and they don't realize that at one time your face was on the board at the Safeway for stealing tuna fish. And you were barred from grocery stores like me, like I was, because I had to steal food just to eat. Okay. And eventually I left from up there and made my way back down to that Greyhound bus station. Don't even know how I got there. I think I probably walked. Okay. And found my mother. And she was like, oh my God, what are you doing here? How did you get here? I walked that whole bus station until I found it. And I'm so glad I did find it. So yeah, man, that's just a little piece of that history, Moving on from there, we finally got resettled. Ended up down in Southwest DC, Carrollsburg Square, 339 N Street, where all my Southwest crew come in. Big Money Hines, Latour, and everybody else. Want to say hello to y'all if y'all watching. Dealing with that situation down there was interesting because my mom got back on her feet, and then we ended up living in an area called Carrollsburg Square. A lot of people might know where that is. There used to be across from Waterside Mall, which is now a DC government office building, but that used to be a shopping mall. And so we lived in Carrollsburg Square, and every day that was a ritual because I like to go across the street and play with my friends in the projects. So I would leave from Carrollsburg Square and go over to Greenleaf and hang over in Greenleaf and hang out with my friends over there. And that was interesting because they thought I had money at the time. They thought I was rich because I lived over where the white people lived and all that kind of stuff. So I'm battling every day. That's how I got the guns in check. Had to learn how to use these, right? Because that's what we did back in the day. It wasn't no guns, right? It wasn't that. We used these.
Yep.
Right. Unfortunately now, cowardism has set in. And these young men aren't ready to stand their ground to a point where they can prove themselves and then live to tell about it. They want to prove themselves and then walk away from a dead body. And that's kind of sad, you know what I mean? Because in this profession, I've seen so much of it. I've seen so much of it. A lot of people don't understand, well, Jack, you're a firefighter. How did you see all these shootings and all this kind of stuff?
Yep.
And most people don't understand that every time you see a fire truck, everybody on that fire truck is trained as either an EMT or a paramedic. Okay, so we'll pull up in the fire truck and they'll say, wow, we didn't call the fire department. We called for an ambulance. We don't need a fireman, we need an ambulance. And then we have to explain to them that we have all the equipment on the ambulance, on the fire truck now. We're
Mhm.
all trained just like people on the ambulances, right?
Mhm.
We just don't have a stretcher and a bed.
Mhm.
So when you call for emergency medical care, depending on what's wrong with you, you're going to get a fire truck and an ambulance.
Mhm.
Okay, number one, because people are bigger now than they were back in the day, right?
Mhm.
We used to have those Cadillac ambulances. Remember those from the movies back in the day when they had the Cadillacs?
Mhm.
Well, people were smaller back then. So now people are bigger. Saving lives requires more equipment. So now you have these big box ambulances that you can stand up in and move around just like little mini hospitals,
Mhm.
right? And so people don't understand that part. So I just wanted to explain that part. So if you need help, fire truck pull up. Don't be telling us we ain't called you because you did call us. Okay.
Mhm.
And we did to
Mhm.
help you as well.
Right.
Yeah, we just need to get back, man, to if we can, we need to get back to first of all touching these young people, touching these young brothers and the sisters, right? Because the sisters are getting involved in this stuff now.
Mhm.
Females are shooting, killing people each other now. It's not just the men.
Mhm.
So we need to make sure we open up this platform, not only to young men, but to young people.
Mhm.
Because women, young girls are pulling out guns now
Mhm.
and shooting each other over boys and Remy hair and heels and shoes and all this crazy stuff that they're hurting each other over. And it
Mhm.
don't have to be that way.
I know, but Jack, but you look at it this way: the young women wouldn't get involved if the men didn't involve them, right? How many women you know just going out there having guns? No, they dealing with somebody who out there in the streets who gave them that gun, who gave them that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, they will be their girlfriends. They will be taking them out. They'll be having a great time, right? So the reason why I'm focusing on men, and I've been asked that question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Many people ask me, when you going open this up to women? I will, right?
I'm sure you
But
will.
right now, my brothers isn't the one I'm focusing on because we are in danger right now. We're killing each other, right?
Absolutely.
We on drugs I mean it's unreal. And you know firsthand because you respond to it all the time. The shooting, drug overdoses, people they tweaking out in the streets, jumping off buildings, and man, I oftentimes ask myself, I say, wow, like you and Soup, all that, and Hunker, everybody who I know was in the fire department. How did you come out unscathed? You're not. Are you suffering with post traumatic stress syndrome, or I mean, because what you see, me personally, I couldn't do it. Seeing the bodies, seeing the scenes of shooting victims in the head, burnt victims. I couldn't do it, bro. It take a certain person to do that type of work. That's why I salute you, right?
Thank you.
For serving our city the way that you have for over 27 years and to come out unscathed. And you're not in St. Elizabeth, right? Because seeing that type of stuff every day is crazy. So not to, interject what you were saying, but yes, it will open up to women as well because guess what? Our queens, they contribute a lot, man, because the unfortunate thing is that we have so many men who abandon their homes, right? That the women are raising our men and our girls.
Yes.
You know, it's so important for men to be involved in our girls' lives,
Yes.
right? To show them how a man is supposed to represent himself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, but yes, absolutely, gonna open it up to women as well. But I'm focusing right now on our men because, just like you said, I'm trying to sow into our young men. If we reach one, I'm doing good, right?
Mm-hmm.
My objective is to reach them all, but if we reach one, I think we're doing good, Jack. So,
Absolutely.
but go
Absolutely.
ahead, brother.
And it's amazing. It's amazing that you said that because one of the great things about the uh, the DC Fire Department is the cadet program.
Hmm.
where we go back to high school students and we start recruiting them at the high school level.
Mm-hmm.
And we start tapping into these young men and young women. But we'll talk about the young men right now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll tap into these young men and we'll give them an opportunity to change their lives,
Mm-hmm.
to have a career that they can stay in, raise a family from, and retire at 17, 18, 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a lot of times the maturity level isn't there, but that's where I come in as a captain.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the lieutenants come in and the sergeants come in
Mm-hmm.
and all the other senior firefighters who are around these young people once they get out of the training academy and come to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you get trained at the training academy one way, but then guess what? When you end up at Engine 33 on Atlantic Street as a cadet in the heart of Ward 8,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to train you a different way.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to train you how to survive in Ward 8 at 3 o'clock in the morning when the shooting call has come in and the police ain't there yet and we get there first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of times we continue first. There's no cops. The body is still small. A lot of times they're still shooting. Right? But we're never going to put ourselves in jeopardy safety-wise first. We're going to wait till it's safe and then we're going to go and help the person that we need to help.
Mm-hmm.
But this program has allowed so many young people, young men, to get jobs, to eat good, to make their families proud, and to earn a living.
Mm-hmm.
So I endorse it. I think it's a great program, and it's something that works well for the city.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of me and how I've been able to make it go, has really been through my relationship with Christ,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like this is a position that I was born to be in and that He put me in. So I share that with my young firefighters. I share that with my coworkers. I share that with my superiors. You know, I go up and down with it. I let everybody know about the gospel of Jesus Christ. I don't have a problem talking to nobody about that.
Mm-hmm.
Any level, any.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Amen.
So that has kept me, Drake.
Mm-hmm.
That has kept me through crawling through the Pentagon. Right. That has kept me 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Crawling through that building. And they're saying that a plane went in it, but I didn't see no airplane. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That has kept me through the metro crash, Fort Totten, and the carnage of seeing a woman stuck down in the floor, still on herself with her cell phone in her hand. Right. Passed away, but she was calling her mother to tell her mother that she was on the train that crashed. She's pinned into the floor and can't get out.
Yeah.
It's kept me through that kind of stuff. And so we have a lot of programs and stuff within the department.
Sure.
To help people decompress after issues like that and calls like that. But it all starts with us. It starts with the officers and the surrounding peers to get down and touch on these people, these young people, because guess what? The bell just rung again. Right? And now you got to go down the street to the high rise on Connecticut Avenue with the lady standing on her balcony with her bedrobe on top, with her bathroom robe on fire, with her baby in her hand. Right? Up on the 10th floor, ready to throw the baby to you. But we gotta just let them know, hey, we're coming up again. Just hold on, lady, we're coming. And it's just been an amazing experience, man. It really has.
Wow. I call you guys Superman for sure to run into a fire. Most people running away from a fire, right?
That's
you guys running into a fire.
That's right.
And you know, the temperature, man, the equipment that you guys have to wear, man, you have to have some type of stamina to be able to endure what you guys go through. So again, man, we take our hat off to you, brother.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your beautiful daughters, man. They got them through college, man, and they doing well. Gabrielle and what's your other daughter's name?
Kiera.
Kiara. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about them.
Oh man, my two hearts, my two
Yep.
heartbeats. If I could have two hearts, I would. One on the left, one on the right. But yeah, those two are why I do it all, man. They're why I've done it all.
Mm-hmm.
They're why I've sacrificed for 27 years my life to make sure that they never have to go through homelessness,
Mm-hmm.
that they'll always have a roof over their head. They never have to go what I had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
That they'll get their college degree, right? Something I didn't quite accomplish, but I said I'm going to make sure that whatever I have to do
You was gonna do it.
and however I need to support,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my oldest daughter, Gabrielle, attended Charlsey University in good North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
left Shaw University and decided that she wanted to go on to get her master's degree in social work,
Mm-hmm.
which she successfully done
Mm-hmm.
at the good Johnson C. Smith University, which is also a place that we used to swim at
Mm-hmm.
back in high school. We used to travel down to Johnson for swim meets. So I was familiar with the school and I was honored that she decided to go to a school that I was familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Doing very well now in the field.
Good.
Got her own place, doing her own thing,
Mm-hmm.
and resident of North Carolina. Love
Good.
her to death. Very proud of her.
Mm-hmm.
My other daughter, Kiera, absolutely amazing. Full academic scholarship
Wow.
to the University of Miami,
Mm-hmm.
the U.
Mm-hmm.
Another school that was on my radar back in high school that I would have loved to gone to and swam at.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent swimming program. But absolutely honored by her and her achievements to get a full academic scholarship to a school like the University of Miami.
Wow.
I couldn't be more proud
Right.
of her for doing what she's done.
Mm-hmm.
Excelled there as well. Top of her class, graduated from there. Now residing in New York City,
Mm-hmm.
working for a major broadcasting company in New York City.
Wow. That's
So
what's up.
very, very proud of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing very well now. Don't have any grandkids as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
Glad that they're staying the course and making the decisions that they're making the way they're making them.
Mm-hmm.
They're adults now, and of course they can choose to go whatever route they want to. But I'm glad that they're systematically trying to get their lives in order
Mm-hmm.
as they should.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't take credit for that. I give it all to God for all that He's done for them. And just very, very happy and very, very pleased.
Yeah. But God used you as a vessel, brother,
Thank
to
you.
raise,
Man.
to get them through the troubling times too. You know, obviously, the male is supposed to be the stabilizer in the family, for sure, the security, provider. It's supposed to be that. And from what I see, brother, you've done a great job, man, with your girls, man.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me now, let's get a little wild here because we're gonna talk about your McKinley Tech class of '83.
All right, everybody raise up.
I know, right? Look,
83,
let me just say this, right?
83, where y'all at?
Class of '83, man.
Amazing, man. Amazing
Yeah.
group.
Let me just say this though. They love having fun. Let me
Absolutely.
tell you, y'all always getting together, man, and just having a great time. I live vicariously through you because the unfortunate thing, class of '82, we get together every now and again, you know. That's why most of the times I come and attend you guys is whatever you guys are doing functions, I'll come and attend because not too many people out there doing it like you guys are doing it. You guys love having fun. I know the class of '83. I know everybody. Love them all, and I enjoy myself when I'm with you guys.
Wow.
Just talk a little bit about class of '83, man, because
Oh man. Oh
special.
man. Oh man.
I mean, all classes are special, but you guys love having fun. You understand me?
Absolutely, absolutely, and more than that, man, we love each other.
hmm
Somehow we've come to become we've I don't know we've come to become this extended family for each other.
hmm
Like we really all got the same damn mama, bro. We act like we all got the same mama. I don't understand how we do this, man. It's like, okay, we ain't rich, but we all seem like we got the same mama.
Yeah, I
But
feel
you
the
know,
love.
oh man, it's amazing, But we certainly have the same Father in God, right?
hmm
But oh my goodness, man, what an amazing group of people. Um, and the crazy part about it is, man, is that back in school, we weren't this close.
hmm
Most of us didn't even know each other
hmm
back in school.
Right.
But somehow, somewhere along the way, there was a group of us decided, let's have a 10-year reunion
hmm
after 10 years. And when we got together at that 10-year reunion, we discovered that, wow, we really love each other.
hmm
We love the energy that we bring to each other. We all have a separate talent that we bring to the group. You know what I mean? And from that 10-year reunion, man, you know, it was like we were back in school again.
hmm
And we haven't graduated yet, bro. We're still back in school. We still haven't graduated. We refuse to graduate at this point.
hmm
So even as 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, whatever we are now, man, we just love each other. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
I can't put my finger on it, man. It's just
hmm
been a blessing.
It's a
And
special group.
yeah, we've lost people. Um, we've had people with trials and tribulations.
hmm
And anytime we lose anybody or anytime anybody has an issue, it's like a swarm of bees, man. We swarm that person.
hmm
We swarm them like bees, and we protect them, and we provide for them, and we make sure that they have everything they need if something goes wrong,
hmm
right? As far as having a good time with partying, man, you've been there. You know how we do it, man.
hmm
Whether it's a cabaret for, to support one of our reunions, or just an event, a picnic, a cookout. Heck, man, we can even be at the alumni picnic, and you're going to see more class of '83 people there than any other class.
That is the truth.
Yeah,
That's the
man.
truth.
And
That's
I'm
the
gonna say that citywide, bro. I'm gonna say that
Mhm.
citywide for any class in any high school. I don't think that in any year, I don't think that any high school, any class of any year can compete with our camaraderie, our love, and our dedication to each other, man.
Mhm.
It's just what we are and what we do.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
That's 83. That's what we do, man.
Yep, it's amazing. Um, and a special shout out, just like you did. Let me just say, I made a few phone calls, of course, to put together the presentation, right?
Amazing. Thank you, brother.
Gloria Clark coordinated majority of it. Carrie Taft coordinated majority of it. I reached out to them, those two, and they put me in contact with folks,
Wow.
or even coordinated it. So I want to take my hat off to both of them. Gary
Wow.
Tabb, of course, I grew up with him, and Gloria is just amazing. You know, um,
Absolutely.
she's
I'm gonna
just
get
amazing.
y'all. Y'all pulled that one off on me. I'm gonna get y'all. Y'all snuck one in on me.
They did. Look,
Gary, Tab, Paul, all y'all snuck one in on me.
all,
That's okay.
yeah,
That's
all of
okay. I'll get y'all. I love
look.
y'all. Though. Love y'all
I
with all
wish
my heart. Thank
I
you.
wish I could have got everybody, but it would have been 2 days if that was the case. If we'd have got that, everybody would have been on that one. So
Oh, man.
I just wanted to special shout out to them, man, because and your cousin Greg, man, amazing dude. He and I
Absolutely.
talk, he and I talk extensively
Wow.
about you, and yeah, he gave me some great insight about you and your family history and all, man. And
Wow.
I just
Wow.
want to say Thank you, Greg.
Greg,
Coming
you
through.
get it too. You get it
Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, I just want to thank you, brother. I want to be able to thank you, man. Why just like I said, above ground. And I know how much you do give back. And just listening to your story, the reason why I have this platform is because it's called the journey of a man. We all have journey, right?
too. Yes, we
We
do.
don't know each other's journey. We don't. People don't know my journey. I didn't know your journey until you told us. Amazing, right? And for you to still be standing here, you could have gone another direction, right?
Absolutely.
You could have ended up somewhere else, or you could have ended up in a cemetery somewhere. But here
Absolutely.
you are, Captain Jack, my main man. I just want to thank you again, brother, for allowing me to interview you.
Wow, bro.
It say a lot to me for you or anyone to allow me to interview them. That means you have the confidence in me that I have a good platform that I'm trying to do something good for our people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just want to say, man, that I didn't know quite what to expect,
Mm-hmm.
because I've never been interviewed before. Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
ever done this for me before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thankful again to all the people that took time out to do that amazing introduction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna jerk back those tears until we close out, and then I'm gonna let them out. I'll let them out
Yeah,
after
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that.
It's all right.
But,
It's all right if we see the ugly face. It's all
yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, what you're doing is amazing, Dre. I hope that for anybody that's listening, you know, that they can understand, man, that your life can change,
mm-hmm. Just
regardless
hanging
of what you've been through. Your
on.
life can change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that a lot of things that we think are important, man, really aren't important.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's focus on ourselves, and let's focus on giving back to the community as much as we can, however we can,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's $1 to the guy on the corner, right? That's panhandling, or whether you decide to volunteer some kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just try to get back, man. We need to get back. It's unfortunate, man, that, a lot of the rec centers and stuff like that we used to have, man, where
Mm-hmm.
we could go in the afternoons and evenings,
Play.
been taken over by some other people now,
Mm-hmm.
and don't offer our young people the things that it used to offer our young people,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're into uh, stretch yoga, or some of that other kind of stuff, then yeah, these facilities are doing that kind of stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
But just to go in and say, hey, let's get around a ping pong table and talk and play some ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run some whole pro basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a lot of that no more.
Right.
So
Yeah,
we
I
got to
grew up.
find a way to get back, man. We got to
Mm-hmm.
find a way to keep these young brothers active and interested in something positive and productive. They don't have a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we
Well,
get back to get right? Exactly. Either that or this,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so how do we get back to Dre? How do we get back to re-engaging
Mm-hmm.
with our young men?
Right. We get,
That's what we need to be figuring out. How to
and
get back to re-engaging with these young men,
yep.
and then attracting their interest,
Mm-hmm.
giving them something that they're interested in, and then having them put their hands on stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? Keeping them active and keeping their minds active. That has to be our goal.
Yeah. I want to be able to, as I say in every interview that I had, I want to be able to go around to the different elementary schools, middle schools, high school. I don't have middle schools anymore, right? Because elementary go up to a certain level, then it goes right into high school, right? Or ninth
Right.
grade start high school, right?
Mhm.
So elementary go up to the eighth grade now, right? Goes all the way to the eighth grade. But I want to be able to get into these schools, man, and take some guys with me, man, so we can breathe into these young boys and girls, right?
Absolutely.
We can breathe into them, man, and catch them young. We don't want what we're trying to do is prevent them to go from going through the obstacles we had to go through to find out that it was the wrong way,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
If we breathe into them the right way, and if they decide to go the wrong way, then that's a conscious choice that you made. You know the right way.
Right.
Most of them don't know the right way.
They don't even know. They don't even know.
Mm-mm. They don't know.
So if you keep doing what you're doing, man, and setting these examples like you set, and then getting this information out to them,
Mhm,
right? Whether you got to stick it in their Instagram, because they
mhm,
always on Instagram, stick it in their Instagram, stick it in a TikTok. You got to stick it in where they're at
mhm.
so that they can see and hear what you're doing, bro. And I just want to thank you, man. You've been amazing.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, bro. You know I love you. Um, you know, if I need you, bro, when I start going into these areas and these different locations, man, I'm most definitely gonna call you because I know you can breathe on these young men and women just like I can. We're just trying to give them some grassroots information, you know, and just let them know that you can reach out
Right.
because that's what it takes sometimes. It's just reaching out and listening to someone, giving you some good advice. Good
Absolutely.
advice, right?
Absolutely.
Not the wrong advice, especially us who are spiritually grounded as well. You know, um, we know that the book would not mislead you for sure. Right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then
You
also
know,
too, we gotta touch into the parents too, man.
mhm.
Right.
Well, absolutely,
Because a lot of this is our fault,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
A lot of this is our fault. And I'll just say this, man, sometimes we've been so busy making sure, right, that our kids have more than we had, right? We kind of spoiled them, man.
Hmm.
Kind of
Hmm.
spoiled them, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So some of them have this expectation that, you know what, I'm a superstar just because I was born.
Mm.
A lot of these young people think that they're millionaires just because they walk the face of the earth. They think they're superstars just because they walk the face of the earth, and they are in God's eye.
Hmm.
But guess what? God also said, for every one step you take, I'll take two. And they don't want to even take that first step, Dre.
Hmm.
They don't even want to take that first step.
They don't have the confidence. It's fear. It's
Right.
fear, and it's also what they see. The unfortunate thing is that just like when I was growing up there between Brentwood, Montana, if you don't see what's outside that neighborhood, it's hard for you to expand. It's hard for you to take those blinders off because that's all you see is the drug transactions, the big cars. They still living in over in the projects, but you got a Mercedes Benz. Oh, this is what I want. Yeah, I want the exact same thing. They're gonna
Right.
try to emulate that. But if you
Right.
take them outside that and show them all the possibilities they could have, other than that, we on point, right? Because that's
Absolutely.
when they take the blinders off. But
Absolutely.
thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Jack.
Yeah, thank you,
Um,
man.
hold on for a second, bro. I want to chop it up with you after this. Hold on.
Okay, absolutely, man. Thank you so much, bro. And
All
thank you
right,
everybody for tuning in.
all right, brother. Love you, man.
Love you too, man.
Brother. It was